Oh my God. Mom ripped off son's penis and beheaded him because he reminded her of his dad. This is a terrible, terrible story, but it's important. It's also important for men to fathers to deal with parental alienation, because this what happened. The father was booted out of the relationship and he wasn't there to protect the boy. And the woman who was always a lesbian got together with another lesbian who hated men. And all of a sudden, this little boy who's innocent person got destroyed. So let's hear this. A mom and her lesbian lover have been accused of tearing off her 9-year-old son's penis before beheading him. Mom Rosana Candido, 27, and Pessoa, 28, of Brazil, are said to have stabbed the boy over a dozen times and removed all the skin from his face before butchering his body. Oh my God. The alleged gruesome murder took place before little Ruan reminded Candido of his dad. This is a lame excuse. It has nothing to do with this. This woman, I assumed, I can't tell which is the mother and who's the lover, but the woman she got together with did know the boy's father. So that is an excuse. They hate men and they want to do violence to men. They're too cowardly to, so they attack little boys. And this is her own flesh and blood. And this is why this case, amongst others that I've found, have changed my mind about something fundamental. I don't believe women should have the right to have children. They have the privilege to have children, the same way we do not have the right to drive a car. We have the privilege to drive a car. That's why we have licenses to drive a car. You've got to prove that you're a responsible adult when you drive one-ton vehicle. And you have to prove that you're a worthy human being before you are allowed to put another human being in the world that's under your care. Now, the lovers are said to have confessed to killing and mutilating their child at home, some 20 miles from the capital of Brasilia. Reports from Brazil said the couple even used a knife to try to gouge out the boy's eyeballs to prevent possible recognition. Oh my God. They then tried to dispose of the boy's have his body on a barbecue. Oh, geez. When they failed, they put some of Ruan's remains in a case and dumped them in the sewer. Other body parts were hidden in 2 backpacks at the couple's home. The 2 women faced charges of homicide, torture, and concealing a corpse. Oh, I have no words. Now, Candido is said to have told investigators the year before the murder, the couple tore off Ruan's penis during horrifying homemade surgery. This is a year before the murder. So that boy was under these torturers for a year. They are claimed to have used rudimentary tools because Ruan wanted to become a girl. I don't believe he wanted to become a girl. They hated him and wanted a girl in preference. Local reports said after removing the penis, and even if it was true, it wouldn't be true because they would have actually taken him to a doctor, right? Local reports, after removing the penis, women said they sewed an improvised version of the female organ onto the mutilated area. Oh my God, look. Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill, is a fictional character. These 2 monsters are real. Think about that. Think about that. Now, Candido reportedly claimed the boy was a burden and a hindrance to her relationship with Pessoa. Yeah, I don't know which one's which, but Pessoa hates men. And that's what the burden is, because if went down in the later in the article, Pessoa has a daughter. So it's not the fact that the child is a burden. It's because she put an ultimatum, get rid of this little monster. That's why she would see him as a little monster. Get rid of him, or else I don't want to be with you anymore. She also felt hatred, no love for him, because he reminded me of her father who allegedly abused her. See, that's bullshit. How do I know? Because Paseo, I don't know who's who, doesn't know the boy's father. So she just hates him as a boy. She put the ultimatum, kill this little guy, and abuse him. Because if that's the case, she would have got rid of him. She would have let the father have custody of him and then just disappeared, right? Ruan's father told the police officers Candido ran away with the boy 5 years ago after he lost custody. She hates this boy so much, but she fought for custody. Why? Because she doesn't like the son. She's not interested in the child. She's interested in the payout. She probably wanted child support, and she hates the man, so she's taking the son away from him to abuse him. So I don't believe the father was abusive one iota, not one. So then the police, and of course, the court system that's so biased and hostile to men, of course, did this. And tell me something. If a man does something terrible to a little girl, everyone gets up in arms, or a little boy even, and says something's got to be done about this. But the court system hasn't changed a bit, even after this experience. That's how hostile the court system is to not only men, but to children. The court system see children as non-humans, that the women in the mothers can do whatever they like to them. And that's why they put custody to this woman. And also, guys notice that these lesbians want to be looked after by a man. So they're willing to shack up with a man, even though they really have nothing but contempt for them. And as soon as she's with a lesbian, it's like two white nationalists get together. All of a sudden, their true feelings come out. This woman always hated men. She hated the man that she was married to. She hated the little boy she produced. And she always wanted to harm them. But she found them useful. And know why a lot of guys fall for it? Because let's face it, it's the sexless marriage is standard. And so if the lesbian wife isn't putting out, the guy isn't surprised. All he cares about is having the woman around. This is disgusting in every regard. These are true blue monsters. This is as low as humanity can fall. You know, we're young. Okay, let's see. Then she went to live with Pessoa with her daughter. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, who age 9 has been put into care. Whoever's Pessoa here had a daughter. So it's not that the child was getting in the way. It's because Pessoa hates men and she wants to harm little boys too. And she put the ultimatum down. Get rid of that little scrote or we will get rid of him, or I won't be with you. And that's why the mother always felt about this child. Women are great chameleons. They're the great wife and they're great mother until they no longer need to be. Now, the police chief Mello said that the cruelty of the crime has shocked hardened investigators. Yes, exactly. She killed her son, quartered, decapitated, plucked the skin, and tried to get rid of the body. It was also a very terrible case, he told O Tempo. My word. My word. Something has to be done about this. There has to be social awareness now of what goes on with parents. There has to be this destruction of this false worship of motherhood. There really has to be that. And there has to be licenses. People have to be found out if they are actually worthy to be parents. And by the way, everyone, do you ever see the reverse? Do you ever see like a gay male couple that have like a little girl or even a little boy, but even especially just to reverse it, a little girl who they ever did something like this to? Never, never. I've never heard it. And you know something, what would happen if they did? Society would get together and say men aren't allowed to adopt children. They wouldn't just see it as an individual couple. They would say, they would extrapolate it to the entire male population. But here, these women, as far as I'm concerned, can be extrapolated to female population to a certain degree. That even though they're the rock bottom, to a certain degree, children are seen by their mothers as owned people by them, and society and the court system sees it as the case as well. And this, sorry for tripping over my words, but will they come to any proper conclusion about this, the authorities, and say, well, maybe we should change the laws? And the boy's father was nowhere to protect them because the court system hates men and said, look, we don't care what these people are like. We don't care what this little boy is what situation he's being put in. We just know that women are good, men are bad, and we're putting children with the women no matter what. And these women want to destroy this child, fine by us. It just reminds me, I have this other video of male feminist dating. I just want to bring up where the male feminist went through a similar situation, similar, in the way that his mother got together with a lesbian lover, and all of a sudden the abuse, as when he was only a child, which started cramping up. So this isn't just a one-off. This is something that happens often enough that you can say there's something, this is something true about the gender dynamics. And we have to take that into account now. No more of this falsehood and lying. Anyway, this is what I have to say about this. Thank you, everyone.